Hello and welcome to another SDM Foundation video for our YouTube channel as well as our local broadcasting station MMTB. A little less than a year and a half ago, in July of 2023, we talked a little bit about ChatGPT and artificial intelligence in general. Well, it has continued to be a hotbed topic in tech. So today we're going to dive into artificial intelligence, or AI, once again. But what is AI really, and why is everyone talking about it? It might surprise you to know that AI has been part of our lives for decades, often working behind the scenes. Now, however, it's becoming more visible and accessible than ever, and it's changing how we live, work, and connect. Let's take a closer look. So, some of you who have seen my videos in the past might be able to tell that that is being read from a script I had generated by ChatGPT. But AI is expanding extremely fast, so we're also able to give prompts and make a few selections to create entire videos. So what I'm going to do next is play a video created with AI just using a little prompt to give a dynamic montage of daily activities that involve AI, like using a phone, smart home devices, streaming platforms, or navigating apps. So that prompt was entered into an video generating AI software on a website, and what we see next is going to be the result of that.
Every day, I wake up to the gentle buzz of my smart alarm, programmed to sync with my sleep cycle. As I roll out of bed, my smart home assistant lights up, ready to share the weather and my schedule. I grab my phone, and with a quick swipe, I check the latest news, all curated by AI algorithms that know my interests better than I do. In the kitchen, I ask my smart speaker for a recipe, and it pulls up a video tutorial, guiding me step by step. While I cook, I stream my favorite show with AI recommending episodes based on my viewing habits. Later, I hop in my car and the navigation app kicks in, rerouting me around traffic jams using real-time data. It's incredible how AI seamlessly integrates into my daily routine, making life smoother and more efficient. From morning to night, it's like having a personal assistant that anticipates my needs, turning mundane tasks into effortless experiences.
So after watching something like that, you might think that AI is extremely advanced. And like I said, it's approaching, higher levels and getting more impressive each day. However, uh, what was generated in that video is not as extreme as it may seem. So, for instance, now I am in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen visually, right, and speaking. So that person speaking isn't a generated person. However, it is taking tons of different images and or short clips of him and using those to then generate a simulated version of him speaking, right? Uh, Not necessarily even his voice, but there's an actor who does the physical aspect, taking pictures and short videos so that any number of combinations of words can be, you know, uh, expressed by him, or so it seems, right? And then another actor would be paid to do the voiceover. And it's the same idea where they input enough words and sounds that a voice can be generated to say those words. So then you match those two up, the generated words and the generated moving images, aka the presenter, Put those together, and there you go. You have, uh, an AI generated presenter speaking, right? And then beyond that, the program just decides, okay, we're going to do subtitles as well as have captions, right? This one from Veed allowed input of your email, your logo, which is why I added the SDM Foundation's information in a couple spots. Um, but beyond that, it's not all that different from what is a little bit of a lower step of AI, which is basically me doing it myself, right? I still utilize aspects of artificial intelligence to do this. And that's something that we're going to dive into, which is like the levels of it and how uh, we're still in a phase of putting different elements together to create more advanced technology, which allows us to do a lot, but it's still nowhere near, you know, science fiction levels yet. The easiest example of a lower level of AI that I used to create a video just now, a lower level of the previous clip just that we saw, was my addition of subtitles as well. So the video before, where we have the AI generated speaking, uh, they added the subtitles, right? As well as having everything else just be generated based on the prompt it was given. But I didn't type out all of the subtitles. I didn't record everything. I didn't, type out everything that I was saying and then enter it into something so that the text would appear. All I did was use the function of Canva, the website that uh, we're making videos on. Um, I used the function to just generate subtitles because if it already has access to the audio clip, which it does, just like the one that I'm currently recording. So while I'm recording this, I don't see subtitles popping up or anything. I'm not reading from something, I'm not writing them down. However, when you watch this clip, there will be subtitles because all I have to do is generate them. And that generating is AI. It's artificial intelligence uh, capturing or listening to the audio, taking out recognized words and transmitting that into text. It's the type of thing that is one of the newer aspects of AI, but not as new as just giving a prompt to have, you know, even more aspects of the video generated, like me and my voice, right? If there was enough video footage of me saying the right things as well as hitting various different inflections, facial expressions, all that, then I could be used to generate AI footage as well. It's just a matter of having those pieces for something that's programmed to artificially, you know, make decisions. That's all it takes. Um, we're just developing those systems more and more, and going from just reading text or looking at mathematical equations to considering tone and human interaction more, as well as going from, like I said, text to images and being able to recognize patterns in them and things like that, which is what allows for really big steps forward in what is done with AI and what these systems are capable of doing. Um, Image recognition is the type of thing that allows AI to associate an image, like a still of me speaking, or various still images of me speaking, with certain uh, words or noises within the words, right? Like certain phonetics. And because the AI can recognize and match like text to the image of me saying text, or the short video, or, which is just a series of images, then it can then recreate that by you inputting, like, I want this AI generated SDM fellow to say text. And it would do that. It would match up each bit. Um, and basically, having AI programs do things like that constantly, saying, yes, that's good, no, that's bad, yes, that's good, no, that's bad, is machine learning, is developing artificial intelligence. That advancement through continuously performing tasks and getting feedback is something that also applies to, uh, you know, lower levels of AI that, I've mentioned, like, uh, finding information from databases, regurgitating it, taking uh, text and summarizing it, all sorts of things like that, which is why there are more and more AI things popping up in people's everyday lives that are more apparent that they are AI, such as Apple Intelligence, coming with the most recent iOS updates, and you know if you have an iPhone 16, um, also things like Google Gemini, as well as Microsoft Copilot. But since I'm on a Mac right now, I'm going to stick with Apple Intelligence and Google Gemini. So let's go ahead and hit chat with Gemini. So we have to agree to the policy. It's going to tell us a little bit about it. All right, so basically, we just have an empty chat here. So why don't we start off with just interacting with it. Let's see if we can ask Gemini what it can do for us. All right, well, it can do a lot of things like generating creative content, answering questions, translating languages, summarizing texts, writing different types of creative content, and it's still in development. So here's some specific examples. Write a short story about a cat who goes on an adventure, translate the sentence, hello, how are you, into Spanish, summarize the plot of the movie The Shawshank Redemption, generate a list of ideas for a blog post about travel. Okay, well, how about this? The type of thing that would be most useful for the everyday user would be something like a refined Google search, because Googling things is not the best these days. So let's say you're trying to get an idea of movies that are playing near you. So let's see if we can do that. Okay, so those are just some links. which is good because that is going to just take you to the exact links that you want to go to. Okay, so that's fair. Let's try something else. Let's see if it can interact with other things in the Google Suite. It cannot create an event for me. Okay. Let's see if it can interact with any of the other Google services. Okay, it can't. Let's have it summarize Gladiator 2. Maybe it won't be able to do it because I didn't spell it right and because it's in theaters. Okay, so this is interesting. As someone who's seen the movie, this isn't exactly a spoiler, it's learned pretty early, but Hanno and Lucius are the same person. So while it does do a quick summary, it is not the best. But let's see if it's better when it's something that's been out for longer, like with the original. Interesting. Okay. So it sticks with the same type of response in the sense of like, okay, summary, 4 bullet points, right? How about give me a detailed description of Gladiator 2? Okay. Detailed description gets us some more information. Okay, so this to me suggests that the main problem is the fact that it is still in theaters, but if you want more details, you basically have to ask for them. So it would probably be able to distinguish or determine rather the fact that Lucius and Hanno are the same person. Once the movie was released and it had more access to information about it, there's potentially some copyright infringement stuff built in there into the AI's system, I would imagine. Actually, I know there is. Let's see. Create the Coca-Cola logo. Or it's not supposed to, like it might just give a generic one. Maybe not. I know that certain AIs aren't able to do that with like hope I didn't spell that too wrong. In the style of. Usually it's a little bit more proprietary about stuff like that, but oh well. Let's move on to Apple Intelligence because that's one that is, more relevant to this video because we're talking about things that users are going to run into frequently, and you sort of have to go out and find Gemini, whereas Apple Intelligence, as well as Copilot, which we'll go over in a bit, is tied into your devices. So this is me actually turning it on the Mac. However, like an iPhone 16 is going to come with it like built in, and it's going to prompt you to have it on during the setup. You can probably still opt out of it, but I imagine at some point you probably won't be able to, because it's just, you know, built into like default functionality of the phone, like something like Siri and, writing and summarizing. So let's go ahead and continue. So this is something you can have it do, which is summarize all the notification previews you get. So just like on the phone, the computer, if you get like a text, an email, what have you, it's going to pop up in the top right in a stacking manner like this, which will then open up to a list, and you can have it summarize all of them, just to give you an idea of all of your notifications. So if you're on your phone, for example, and your phone can, it's iPhone 16 has Apple Intelligence, you can notice that, oh, I've got a bunch of notifications on your lock screen there. You can ask Siri to summarize them for you, and quickly get an idea of what you might need to reply to first. So, but we're not going to do that. So we are going to use Siri. All right. So pressing Command key twice is something that will allow Siri to work. Am I allowed to also say, "Hey Siri"? No, maybe not, but that could just be because of a setting I haven't messed with yet. So let's go ahead and do Command twice, and we'll enable the shortcut. Oops. Hey Siri. Oh, my Siri replied. Okay, so hit Command key twice. Let's type to Siri. Hi Siri, can you summarize what's on my calendar? And let's ask for a summary of today's events. I guess it sort of does that. Can you add an event to my calendar, Siri? I would like to call it test. Schedule it for this afternoon at 4:30 p.m. Okay, so an example of what integration allows for when you have something like this that is built into the system and can naturally interact with other aspects of the system, like the Apple Calendar, which is tied in to the Apple ID. So everything is sort of within Apple's ecosystem, and you can have the same way. You can have the same idea in Microsoft with Copilot, but the idea is to improve functionality of systems that already exist by creating the ease in which you access them, immensely more straightforward and simple. So getting the ability to just talk to AI the way you would talk to a person is sort of the idea here. Still a long way to go, but it's the type of thing that we are working on. So, all right. So with Copilot, which is on Windows machines, it is something that you can find by searching for it, or it's often on the taskbar by default. This is its icon, so we're going to click on that. It would open up the app for you on your computer, but since I'm on a work computer, it says I have to use the work account, which is going to take me online, but it should be relatively similar. However, I think that your chance for having an interaction with the device, sort of like Apple AI bringing up the calendar or responding to the email, would be more likely if you had the app. However, not exactly able to test it out with this environment, but those are the same types of things that you would do. So the same things we did with Apple AI. But Copilot probably has a bit more sense of being a complete product, even though all of these AIs are still constantly in development. It's probably more developed than Apple AI or Gemini. So why don't we go ahead and try one of the same searches, like what are some movies in their times that are playing now near me. Okay, so this is extremely similar, except more information and a better sort of response just overall. That's good. Let's see if it can summarize Gladiator 2 any better. So instantly we can see that Copilot is definitely more advanced than Gemini at engaging in information gathering correctly. Instantly able to determine that Lucius and Hanno is the same character. Very interesting. All right, let's try one more thing. Can you add an event to my calendar for today at 4 p.m.? So it can't add it directly, but it can guide me through the process. I'm sure that Gemini probably would have guided us through the process too, if we asked it to. But this should give you at least a sense of the difference in interacting with an AI based on how complete or how developed it is, as well as the type of things that you can use these new AI systems that you may encounter to better your everyday lives, or at least know that it's something not to worry about and can be a useful tool. All right, thanks, and see you next time.